For this edition of the Westwood Living podcast, we're going to play a little game. Doug Pollard, how are you, by the way? Nice
Wonderful.
to see you. Good. We're going to play Count the Sirens.
That's about right.
It actually should be fun because you're at a very busy spot here that's right near the firehouse. And given what's happened with Norwood Hospital, you're seeing a lot of traffic with emergency vehicles that go right by your door and take people to Beth Israel and need them. So, yes, we will count the sirens as they go. But lots to talk about. First of all, not new to town, but relatively new to the space.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know Doug Pollard and Pollard's Test Kitchen, you might be familiar with the old High Street Market. Well, that's the space that Doug took over. So let's start there. You know well enough the history of this place. What's it like to inherit a space that had been inhabited by somebody for so long and had left a footprint here in Westwood?
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that my wife and I were looking to do, was to take over a space that had some history to it. And so we looked at a few other businesses that were, a possible, opportunity for us to take over and carry on a tradition, especially as long as this place's High Street Market had for 75 years, basically, from Maddie when he started it to Liz when she took it over, and then now with us taking it over. We wanted to find some history and wanted to get into a good town and a good location, and we were happy that we settled on here.
So you've just passed your year anniversary. You came in here just after, November 1st last year. What's the first year been like? It's always a little bit of, experimentation, trying to figure out where you're going to have success. What's it been like this first 12 months?
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been really wild. As far as my background, I've been an executive chef for the past, 25, 30 years, and my wife held a general manager title for, 15, 20 years. And so coming into the retail store, it's quite a challenge for us to kind of grasp and figure out what is necessary, and we knew that we didn't want an actual restaurant because we knew what the dedication needed to be in there. And we kind of wanted to come into a place like a deli, a market, to have beer and wine, to have prepared foods for people to come in and grab, and then have the menu rotate, weekly or every 2 weeks, so people have a little bit of a change in their menu and not constantly go to the same thing over and over again.
Well, there is some comfort in knowing what you're getting, but I do think that's a great twist where you on your social media pages are always releasing, hey, here's this week's menu. How much of a derivation is it from one week to another? Is it brand new from one week to the next, or do you find that there's a few things that you definitely have to keep?
Yeah, there's definitely a core menu that we've kept. Some of the previous, chicken salads that people loved, dill chicken salad and cranberry and tuna and crab meat salad. A lot of those things people loved, and we almost kind of got intimidated by taking some of those items off. So it was kind of funny to keep those and keep those true to the old recipes. There's, obviously a new twist with different flavor profiles and chicken cutlets, meatballs, lasagna. Those kind of things are kind of mainstays. And then there's always like 2 or 3 different proteins and some sides and plant-based items that I like to showcase each week. And then with the menu, we probably about 5 months ago, we changed or added our menu. So we doubled the amount of sandwiches. We added fresh made salads to order. We brought barbecue back for the football season. We'll see how well it goes. It's just going to be on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays now, but it's been taken off pretty well so far.
So you didn't really have your feet under you last year as the holidays approached. So I venture to say this may be a little bit of a new project this year to get people to understand that they should come in here and consider how you can help them for Thanksgiving and the holiday season in December. So as that's beginning to ramp up, what would you like people to know?
Yeah, the wonderful thing is that we actually have the opportunity to advertise and, let people know that we're here, that we have prepared foods, that, we just served probably about 400 or 500 people with about 2 or 250 turkeys with all the sides ready to go, oven-ready turkeys, and then we're gearing up for, the December holidays, and we have, tenderloins and ribeyes and prime ribs and short ribs and bone-in and boneless, all these different options available.
Tell me about the meat, because I remember last year I did get one of your tenderloins for the Christmas holiday. It lasted a while because it was huge. But you have a special designation, don't you?
Yes. The Hereford brand, Hereford, Hereford, is originally a UK cow, a heifer, that was brought over to the States, and now there's farms throughout the country that are breeding the Hereford brand beef, and this is 100% grass-fed and finished, and they're normally, because of the high standards that they're held to raise by, they're normally crossbred with the Black Angus. I've had friends that are farmers that can put both of these steaks side by side, the Black Angus and the Hereford, and they can easily point out which one's the Hereford, and they can easily tell once they taste it which one's a better quality, and they prefer the Hereford.
You're the only one in New England, right?
We are the only one in New England that is exclusively selling Hereford beef. We will not serve any other beef besides Hereford.
Do you have to pass a test or something to be
There's
that
not
guy?
a particular test. It's just, it was a cow, or it was a beef brand that I fell in love with when I was a chef in Texas. And when we knew that we were going to be buying this market, we wanted to get this beef up here. And then we realized that we were the only ones that had it.
Got it.
We had to capitalize on it.
Yeah, no question. Well, you talk about being an executive chef, and there's a certain artistry to being a chef. So what do you enjoy about food preparation and serving guests?
Yeah, the fun part is education, and every chef tells a story about their food and how they approach food, and that's kind of the reason why we did a test kitchen, not a particular ethnic market or just an American market. We wanted to be able to showcase different items. I've been able to do Thai chicken curry, and we've got a gingered beef that we feature from time to time. And then the plant-based items also range from different cuisines as well. So we like to really just showcase a lot of the different experiences that I've had throughout my career and showcase them here.
We've had the opportunity to showcase your work and your food at two of our events, going back to May when we did the event at Hale, and then, of course, the big event at the Bean Farm in August. When you are charged with that type of event, just give me your first reaction. Does it excite you? Does it daunt you? What goes through your mind?
It's very exciting, and it goes back to what you had mentioned before, how, our first week basically of opening this business was the week of Thanksgiving, where we had to feed so many people, and, the amount of dedication and work that has to get put into actually preparing all of the food leading up to the actual event, because you can't just prepare food for 350 people that morning, especially with something like barbecue. It's 12, 16, 18 hours in advance, so the timing of it is all very crucial and critical. It always becomes very exciting to me, because throughout my career, there's been so many different events, catering offsites, that we've had to run trucks for, set up satellite kitchens for, multiple areas in a stadium, and run, multiple kiosks. It's very exciting to have the faith that you can do it, and that everybody working with you gets that feeling as well. Like their confidence is built as well.
You had a great staff there at the Bean Farm in August, but I want to go back to the one in May that we did at Hale. It was smaller. It was a little bit less than 100 people, but that's where I saw the artistry come out. That's where you asked me, like, what's this crowd going to be like? What should we expect? The Bean Farm one's barbecue, family, fun, kind of casual.
Yeah.
The Bean Farm one was a little bit more high end, and you appropriately, without even me telling you or asking you what to do, you nailed it. You're like, oh, look at this. This stuff is actually, it's unique. It's different. It has a bit of a flair to it, some different flavors, and the presentation too. So it's not just about how you prepare it. It's about how you present it. Where'd you get that knowledge? How'd you get good at that?
Yeah, it's just experience-wise. Each event we approach differently. Every event is not the same. I've had people coming in, throughout the course of the year. Oh, do you cater? Yeah, we do cater. And normally we send out our barbecue menu, and then most of the time we just customize the menu per their event. And so for that particular event, what we wanted to do was really highlight and showcase what we're able to plate and show what we can do with different flavor profiles. And the staff that I had with me were pretty excited. They're like, oh, this is kind of like a Top Chef plate up kind of thing. I was like, yeah, you're going to plate 3 or 4 things at a time and then do it again.
It's cool to hear the stories that happen in the back end for those types of events. One of the things that really impressed me and honestly warmed my heart is when I did introduce you to Chris Bean over at the farm, and the two of you hit it off and were able to strike a partnership where you were able to support his business to therefore move your business forward. Can you tell me a little bit about how that happened? Because to me, I think it's super important for all local business owners to try to work together.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It was really great to get to know Chris and the family. We've been tied together for a few months now, and we've really enjoyed each other's professional relationship and personal relationship. It was great over the summertime and his peak harvest time that I was able to highlight and showcase a lot of the items that he's growing that I can reproduce here and label them as the Bean Farm, street corn or Bean Farm tomato salad, heirloom, whatever it might be. We're going into the fall, so we're going to be starting to pull in a lot of his squash and into the wintertime, and then again in the spring. We're really partnering up really well. That's nice.
It's been cool to watch. So as we focus on Thanksgiving first, what should people know about how they work with you, how they order from you? I know that you've recently released a menu that people can take a peek at. I know you can probably find that on your website. You can find that on your social media feeds. But what should people expect? Hold their hands through it a little bit.
Yeah, so what we do is to carry on the tradition of the high street market, we wanted to continue providing the farm fresh, free-range birds that they were ordering from North Carolina, Prestige Farms, family farms, and they've done a fantastic job. And so it's a farm fresh bird that we pre-order probably about a month in advance to make sure that they have enough time to get the birds ready for us, and then we have enough time to get the birds ready for all of our customers. And so they can come in or call, and then we'll take down their name and number and email, obviously, and then the birds range anywhere from 10 to 26 and up pounds. And then we provide all the sides, the mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, and take all the work out of it for you so you can actually enjoy the time with your family the way that it's supposed to be done.
Mm-hmm. So a year in, it still kind of looks like the high street market. You obviously have your own vision in mind. What do you envision over the next 3 to 5 years?
I have to control my vision from time to time. I get checked a lot by my wife, which is fantastic. She and I discuss everything and figure out what direction we want to go in. And, she has to pull the reins back quite a bit because I just get a little excited about what I want to get done, what I want to put out. So slowly we're transitioning, away from the standard food items that everybody's used to, being comfortable with. Like, okay, I know what that is, I'm going to get that. But I really want to start pushing some of the food that I've been known to make for the restaurants and known to make for catering. So we're really hoping to highlight that and going into 25.
Awesome. Well, pollardstestkitchen.com is the website, correct?
Yes.
So I invite all of you who are listening to go check out the website. You'll learn more about Doug and his family, who has been dedicated to this business for so long. And hop on board. Make your Thanksgiving easy. Make your holidays easy. There was nothing better than knowing that I had that big, thick tenderloin for Christmas last year. Just sliced it up like inch and a half and made fillets. It was fantastic. So they'll make the job easy for you. And it's obviously conveniently located right here on the intersection of Gay Street and 109, right in the location that used to be High Street Market next to Walgreens. Can't say that in a couple of weeks. That's interesting.
Yep. So there'll be plenty of parking for you to come over now.
We'll see how that goes. It's there's going to be a lot of talk about this location and what's going to take over as your next door neighbor. But it's been great to get to know you. I wish you nothing but success. I thank you immensely for your support of what we do, and I look forward to continuing it in the months and years
Tom,
ahead.
I really appreciate the partnership that we've had, and we look forward to many, many years, working with you and your crew.
That is Doug Pollard from Pollard's Test Kitchen. Of course, pollardstestkitchen.com is the website. And as always, folks, if there's someone you want me to have a conversation with, just reach out, send an email to tleyden@bestversionmedia.com. I'll find that person, have a conversation with them, record it, and then share it with you right here on the Westwood Living Podcast Network. But for now, from Pollard's Test Kitchen, this is Tom and Doug saying so long.